When the Rebel was banned from coming to COP22, that's the UN Climate Change Conference in Marrakesh, Morocco this year, the official reason for the denial of our accreditation was that we were something called advocacy journalists. Seriously, that was the excuse, that we advocated for things. Well, now that we're here on the ground in Marrakesh, we wanted to see just how much of a fake excuse that really is. So when my team and I first settled into the press room, what's the first thing we saw? Well, we saw some journalists from something called climatetracker.org, and they were sitting right across from us. We had no idea who these people were, but there was about half a dozen of them at the table going back and forth working all day. So my cameraman and I, we went to their website, and look at this. Their website says they are, and I quote, the next generation of climate journalists tracking climate change around the world, end quote. They even run campaigns, just like we do at the Rebel. They're advocacy journalists too. So we decided we'd go looking to see who else is here, fully accredited by the UN as journalists, who also advocate a particular point of view. Well, we didn't have to go very far. We found Democracy Now! In the Broadcast Center. They're in the business of calling people deniers, and they seem pretty worried about what Donald Trump means to the global warmist agenda. They're obviously advocates for their point of view, and they even have a nice private office in the Broadcast Center. And right across from Democracy Now! In the Broadcast Center, in another fancy little private office, is something called the Ground Truth Project. Sounds climate changey, so we went to their website. You're going to love this. This is their mission statement. The Ground Truth Project is a nonprofit media organization dedicated to supporting a new generation of international correspondents and documentary filmmakers to go out into the world to produce social justice journalism that enlightens and informs. Too long, didn't read, they're advocates. And their mission statement is adjacent to a photo of a man who looks vaguely like Jesus holding a picture of a police officer that says coward across the bottom of it. So these people just aren't advocacy journalists, they're just generally gross human beings. But they're here in Marrakesh in a nice office, and I bet they didn't have to hire any lawyers and blow through $5,000 in legal fees just to be here. So it's no wonder that Nick Nuttall, the chief UN reporter wrangler, had to capitulate and let us all into COP22. Now that we're here, we know the excuse the UN gave us for not letting us in was a joke, and the proof is all around us. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. Guess what? We actually interviewed Nick Nuttall, UN censor and the man who denied the Rebel Media accreditation. To see that interview, go to the Rebel.media today.